Hello and a warm welcome to everyone to my channel today. In today's video, I will be discussing three stocks with you all, namely Reliance Industries. Doesn't need an introduction at all. It's doing, after a very long sideways pattern, has started performing excellently again on the move. The first stock, which is the large cap, and then I will be talking about two small cap stocks. One is Excel Industries, which is the primary business in chemicals, but as can be seen from their website also, they have diversified into many other businesses like the veterinary business, APIs, the polymer business, the environment biotech, API, primarily being chemical division out here. And the last one being Dolat Investments, again a small cap company into securities trading and investment, but a company which last year came under the Forbes Asia Best Under a Billion list. So without any further delay, let's cover all the three stocks and the market outlook for them in the medium to long-term analysis. Now, Reliance Industries in the short term looks like it might pause this move right now in the short term, provided there is this bearish ABCD harmonic pattern which is coming now up at 2275 to 2285 in that zone, uh, which suggests that the stock could take a smallish pullback from there all the way, retest the trend line on the move down from somewhere here all the way, retest this trend line at 2120. This full block zone out here could be tested from here, the 2150 to 2220 in this zone out here, complete this because of this slanting channel breakout that it had given earlier in the month of June. So from this zone of 2285 round zone, it could do that. This now, the if it continues to move on the upside and it negates this ABCD, which would be happening above 2320. So this is the zone where one should be a bit careful with short-term movements, not medium-term, not long-term, just short-term. This entire move which has happened and this sharp spike will might see some profit taking out here towards, and we are also approaching towards the end of the settlement next week. So there will be some rollover impact or something or the other. So if it were to do a decline, it will happen in this zone. If it does not stop at this zone of 2275 to 2300, then it continues to move its on the rally up. So not a bearish recommendation, just a small pullback. I would call it a small pullback happening out here. It need not trade every part of every trend. So just a small pullback till 2120 or this zone, this retest of this trend line and move up. And we can also see the similarity coming up in the monthly charts. If we look at the depth of the monthly chart, then this Kijun flatness out here is not going to go away. This the Japanese study of Ichimoku with the Kijun completely flat out here. This is not going to go away unless the stock makes a new high, which is at 2360. So the monthly and the daily more or less inclined with the view that there could be a small pause in the up move, which is in fact good in the short term, that a small pullback will give opportunities to re-enter or to add more, pyramid building in the stock, etc. The overall target for Reliance is standing in the medium term to something like 2600 to 2750. So short term, minor blip with a smallish pullback could happen. Now, it could not be a pullback also. We could see it go completely sideways in a zone. So hence not a bearish recommendation, but rather accumulation zone with an opportunity on a dip is something which looks good for Reliance Industries out there. The next one is Excel Industries. Now, Excel is Industries in the weekly time frame has given a bullish inverse head and shoulder breakout. A big one, a big breakout has occurred out here. It can do 1375, 1525 to 1750, maybe even more is very much possible in the stock. It's a massive breakout happened out here. Currently, in the short term, it is in a sideways zone happening in the daily time frame. It's just stuck out here. So it's a wonderful opportunity to accumulate this small cap stock between 975 on the downside. This is the breakout zone out here, and 1200 on the upside, and not, I wouldn't say 1200, I would say 1125. So 1125 to 975 is that zone in which it could uh, see some kind of accumulation happening for further upside on the way up to 1375, 1525, 1750. Small cap stock, not a large cap stock. So, and we've seen how the chemical industry stocks have worked in the last few months, but particularly the mid cap and small cap ones. In the monthly, we can already witness that it's inside the Ichimoku Japanese cloud, uh, Kumo. So this is the area where it's not very moving out too fast out of it or down of it. But you can see out here that this is a very strong base now having formed at 975, which will protect it in the coming months like that. So it's a good zone, can be picked up. Above 1200, it will start performing very, very strong. And as like I suggested, the target of the upside target goes up to 1750, which is near the all-time high of the stock. So it's quite natural that stocks tend to react near those zones. So good stock to look at in the medium term, from going by the sector which is doing so well over the last few months. So it could continue to be a strong outperformer in the market. Excel. The third stock is Dolat Investments. Now, Dolat Investments in the short term has come up to a resistance. This is a diagonal. A diagonal is being touched out here. We can see that it had a reaction here, it's had a reaction here, and now once again it's at that point. Also, it has made it's at the PRZ of a bearish harmonic pattern AB equal to CD, and which is suggesting that unless it starts trading above 85 out here, it might do a pullback and retest the lower end of this rising trend line. So it's a bullish stock, continues to make higher lows, higher highs. That's not an issue. So it could come down all the way till 70 if it were to 10, 70, 75 in 65 in that zone in the short term. But medium term, the stock looks extremely strong, extremely strong. That would give an opportunity to re-add the stock or add the stock near 65, not here. And one more thing, which this ABCD and the diagonal is quite in line with the all-time high, and it's noticed that even the strongest of stocks tend to pause. They don't tend to see profit booking. So don't call it, not calling it a double top at all, just calling it a small pause out here in the move. The upside, if it were to breach above this, if it continues to remain strong, then it will have to sustain above 85 in the short term also to break invalid this upper resistance trend line out here. Else, look for the dip in this one, and it could continue to be an outperformer the way it has been going and the way other security stocks and stocks in its peers are performing. So it will be something on. So when I was speaking about Excel Industries, one would have a look at this page in Investopedia. Those who are interested in learning about patterns, what is a invest head and shoulder? Investopedia, you can just Google it and you could read about it. It's a bullish pattern, particularly found after correction happens and then the reversal happens. So it's a very strong foundation of upsides. Whenever inverse head and shoulders have formed after corrections, they tend to give very strong moves after the accumulation gets over. So maybe this may not be, this may just be a medium term outlook. The long term story of the stock could remain extremely bullish. Uh, Disclaimer: these are not buy sell recommendations from me. Please do your due diligence and your own research before you get into it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone, and have a great investing journey.